And thank you everyone for joining us for this session, Webinar Wednesday. As Katie mentioned today, we will be looking at the field communications workflow. This is a continuation of our series on examples of applications and workflows. As we've discussed before, the GeoSync GO cloud service, our idea is to utilize everyday technology, mobile technology, phones, tablets, cloud, web, GIS data, and apply that technology to everyday work situations. In this case today, we're looking at how this can be used in utilities, and this is a very simple solution actually. It's not necessarily a workflow in itself, but it could be. As we go through, you may see some needs for it. But the idea here is to get information from our field personnel. So a way to communicate information about our system, about our mapping, so just things that are going on that we run into in the field that need to be reported back to the office. And like I say, in this case, we're going to look at this from a utility standpoint. We're concerned primarily about service interruptions, if there's potential leaks and things like that. If there are maintenance needs, we have a hydrant that needs to be painted, or we have a pot or a surface that needs to be redone where we've done some work on a valve or a line or something. Just if there are repairs that need to be done, or in some cases there are map crashes. It may be that we have the water line drawn on the wrong side of the road, and a field person will be out there. They dug up the water line and see that we've got it in the wrong place. So they need a way to report this type of information back to the system administrator or the manager. And so the first thing we would do to do this, we will need, in the GeoSync GO cloud service, we'll need a workflow. And we do have information, videos and documentation on how you actually create a workflow. So we won't go into detail that day, but we do want to look at some things that you may want to consider in that workflow. And basically the workflow would be is a database that has a spatial component. So you've got a database that all the records know where they are in the world, so they display on the map. So one of the things the main thing you need to think about in designing the workflow is what information you want to know, what you want to collect, how you want to manage that data. For instance, we want to, in this case, define a category that we may want to sort these different reports by, such as we mentioned service interruptions, leaks, particularly in water utility would be leaks, or things that issues that would interrupt the service of our utility, places where there may be repairs that are needed, if there's a maintenance, say a surface or a painting or some type of maintenance that needs to occur that someone knows in the field. And as you mentioned earlier, the map correction. So you would want a field to designate the category so we can sort that and manage the data easier. Of course, we want a description of the item. The example you see here, there's a potential leak at this location, and you would also want to know who created the report. You probably want to know which field person had done the report, and of course the date of the report. We want to know when this was reported, so we can have that information. And you may want to have a little more lengthy comment about it, more than just a description. As we mentioned earlier, you may want to, like here, we've given a more detailed comment about that potential leak, and we will likely want to know what the closest address or the service address is for that item, and ultimately we'll want to know the status of the item. So somebody's reported this potential leak. Is it an open report? Is it under review? Has it been closed out? Because ultimately we want to, once this item is taken care of, it's been closed, it's not necessarily really to see that information on the map in the field, or we just want to know if it's been taken care of. And then, of course, when it has been closed or completed, we will want a date. We'll know the date that was closed for future reference. So now the process other than we've already built our workflow database and posted it out to our map. So the process in utilizing this workflow or this solution would be to the workflow would the first step if I'm in the field, I'll want to identify the location. I want to find that location on the map. So you can do that in the office or in the field. One of the options would be to use a GPS location. If you have GPS on the device, GPS show location, you can click on that to identify your location, or you could do an address search. You could do a feature search. Say if we were looking for a valve or a meter, say we have our water meters here. We may want to search for the meter by the meter ID, or we may want to search by if we have addresses in there or the account ID, anything like that. Or you can just do a manual zoom, pinch and zoom and pan, and, zoom in and out and find your location on the map that way. So once you're there, you would actually select that location on the map. So we can start to identify that. Then the next step would be to actually create the report at that location. That's simply like selecting the, well, there's a couple ways, but you can select the report button here or the new collection on the app. I'll then show that one. Once that comes up, you would, in this case, we've named our workflow field comms for field communications. So if we have our field comm form, you would select that. It will open up the form. You fill in the information that we predetermined in building our workflow. The item could say service interruption or repair or what have you. Just a brief description, a more detailed comment if you want. Oops, this is there. Yeah, this is actually open by default. This new item is open, the status. We could type in the name of the person or have a drop down to select the person, the field person that's creating the report. Once it's at this point, we do not have a resolution date because this item has not been resolved. And then we can also add the street address. If you had clicked on an address point or a meter location or something like that has an address in it, it will fill this out for you. If you're just randomly selecting a location on a map, you'll have to type in the street address. As part of this, once you filled out the form, you can also select media and attach a photo. As you've seen in previous demos or previous videos about attaching photos, that is very simple. You can actually activate the camera on a phone or a tablet, or you can actually select a photo that has already been taken on the device. So once you've done this, you simply save the report, and it goes to the cloud and goes back to the office. So whoever the manager or the system administrator that's utilizing this information will have that. They'll have that report at that location, showing the actual location and with any image that you've attached to it. So now, further in the process, the manager or the system administrator can see all this information, as I mentioned earlier. That person can schedule a response if it's an immediate need for a critical piece of your infrastructure that's causing a service interruption. We need to grab that immediately, or basically can schedule depending on the need. Also, you can make map corrections and also mark from the office. This is our basic field and office view. Our item there, our field communication that we did. You have your first service interruption. The manager can go in after it's there. If that has been resolved, they can select that report, change the status to closed, and in this case, it would just disappear from this map layer. We could have it. We could leave it, or we can have it where it just goes away, so you don't have to worry about it. You may have a couple different map layers. I don't have that shown here, but you could have a layer for your field communications showing all of the communications, no matter what their status is, and maybe even color-coded by status. Or you can have a view where we only look at active communications or items. So from here, like I say, the manager has access to all the issues that are there, can utilize that to control to schedule response or make corrections to the map, basically take care of the items that have come in from the field. So also, all of this information is tracked and recorded. We can see it on the map, see it in the field, see it in the office. We got information, we got photos, and we can actually go using the new GeoSync GO AM tools dashboard or the dashboard in desktop, GeoSync GO desktop. You can actually select the workflow and see your dashboard report, all the information. You can sort on different categories. That's just a way to have access. That can actually be, it can also be exported to you for using a spreadsheet. You can generate reports from it, and so on. So just a very simple workflow that can be, actually you can use a standalone if you have a need where you have people in the field that just want to report information back, use it for that, or as an addition to a more detailed workflow, say with a utility, you can add this to your other workflows. So, and that's about it. Thank you very much.